Meet Victoria VanAyerst, a television producer and TV host from San Francisco, California. A bright and progressive person was saddled with throbbing knee pain that was swelled to the size of a grapefruit. An orthopedic doctor told her that she had 85% bone and cartilage loss, a supposed serious and irreversible condition. Many doctors would suggest knee replacement surgery. Victoria didn't want to go that route, yet didn't have an answer. Then, while researching for a show on the planet's elite energy healers, she came across a man named Ed Strachar who uses his own unique brand of energy medicine called Healing Genius. He supposedly healed people remotely from any distance via a simple Skype call. She contacted Ed and asked for a short demonstration of his ability. She was in San Francisco, and he was in Asia at the time. With such a severe injury and expert diagnosis, would it be at all possible to help on such a condition using just his Healing Genius method that few know about or understand? Nevertheless, over a Skype call from across the Pacific Ocean, let's find out what happened.
Welcome to the Art of Conscious Living TV. I'm very pleased today to have as my guest Ed Strachar. He is a distant, remote spiritual healer, and I have my own testimonial of my healing with him that I'm going to share with you later. We're going to be talking about angels, demons, and sorcery, and spirit and the physical world, what all this means. And it's going to be a whole new way of looking at the world. So please embrace yourself and stay open with an open heart and open mind to explore the possibilities of how we have viewed the world up until this point in time, because we're going to turn all of that around into new thoughts and new ideas of new found reality. Ed, I'm so very pleased to have you on this show, The Art of Conscious Living, and welcome. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Nice of you to have me here. Thank you.
Well, Ed, let's start from the very beginning of when you were a young boy, and you were in the East Coast in New York, and growing up, and you're from an Italian background. So tell me about what that was like, of your religious beliefs, your social beliefs, and what was going on with you.
Well, I was born into a Catholic family, and I came out of a broken home, but the reality was, we were told to go to church. We were told that we had to go to confession. We would tell the priest our sins in that little phone booth in the church. Mom wanted me to be an altar boy because she'd be so proud of me, running around with the candles on the pulpit there. But something inside me just told me there was something missing there, and I became an atheist. Became an atheist till I was about 26 years old, and I did my first meditation with a great master teacher who's now passed on, named Alexander Everett. And in that meditation, this man with a beard, long white cloak, radiating incredible love came to me right in front of my face, and I knew instantly it was Jesus. He didn't say anything, but just he had a tear coming from his eye, and the incredible love that I felt was profound. And this was a time when I was an electronics engineer, already graduating from college. And I was working to design chips for weapon systems, nuclear missiles, satellites, all the big bad weapons in the Reagan-Gorbachev era. And this teacher, Alexander, said, we're going to go to Russia and see what this is all about. And we did. And I went to Russia. I spent 3 weeks there. And it was a profound 3 weeks, because up until then, I thought the communists were these big bad people. Well, I learned that the Russians were really nice people, and that there was something wrong with the information we were being given. I couldn't find one Russian that hated an American. And yet on my side of the fence in the weapons industry, boy, we wanted to blow them to smithereens. I mean, that was the whole attitude. And then, you know, I worked with the Air Force. I subsequently taught at the U.S. Air Force Academy, West Point, U.S. Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey. And so I was used to this mentality of the big bad Russians were going to come to get us, but I knew at a deeper level that simply wasn't true. So I couldn't stay in that industry. So that was my own evolution. I went back to Russia. I studied chess under the grandmasters with in the former Soviet Union now. And I learned some mental training and brain power methods, which I then applied to reading and created something called Reading Genius, which I taught around the world and became quite prosperous. At one point, everything stopped. I had mirrors breaking. I had everything going wrong. I couldn't sleep. I started having very bad dreams. And all my deals and things started breaking down, and I couldn't understand why. When I was developing Reading Genius and became really proficient at it, realizing that I'd reached the frontier of mental capacity. I was teaching people to read 50 and 100 pages a minute and more with full comprehension. And there was something beyond that. And what was beyond that was the spirit. And so I went to Asia to study this spiritual realm, and I had no idea what I was going to encounter. Kind of like the naturalist who loves nature, and they don't realize that there are snakes, wolves, and bears in that forest too. And so I got attacked, psychically attacked, evil attacked. And I went from being extremely prosperous, around a millionaire status, to now being a negative millionaire, living in my dad's basement, and everything was going wrong. So I either had to figure out how to break through or take my own life. It was really that simple, and it was coming right down to that point. So I figured out how to break through, and I had the help of some great masters here on earth, as well as angelic realms. And what I realized as I was studying to try to break through and figure this out is understanding real truth. The angels only come to you when you start understanding the truth. If you still believe in Santa Claus, they will not come to you, because you don't understand enough. And you go through lifetime after lifetime after lifetime until you come to truth revelations. And truth is a field. Knowledge is a field. You can access it. You don't need to get it from books. When you get it from books, you get it third hand through someone else's interpretation. So real truth is aligning your heart and mind and soul with a high enough vibration that you can access it. Once you access it, then you can connect to the angels, and the angels connect to you. And when we talk about angels, there are levels of angels. There are lower dark angels, and there are higher angels of love, life, and light. And for me, I align with only angels of love, life, and light, aligned in the order of Melchizedek, which means Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Lao Tzu, certainly Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, and all these saints are all in the order of Melchizedek. And this is the highest level of love, life, and light in the universe.
Well, that would be a good moment to segue into that so our listeners know exactly what we're speaking about here. So let's take a moment for me to set that up. Back last year in October, I went to the orthopedic surgeon, and I asked him what is wrong with my knee. It's just out of nowhere, it just started to inflame the size of a grapefruit, and it was throbbing, and I was in tremendous pain 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So I wasn't doing any of my typical walking or exercising. I was basically laying on the couch with my leg raised up with ice on it. And he said to me, he took the MRI and the x-rays, and he took both knees, and he said, here, this is your normal right knee. Look at the cartilage, it's all normal, but look at your cartilage on your left knee. It's completely dissipated, gone throughout the years of wear and tear. So you have lost 80% of it. So you're basically bone on bone now, and that's why you're getting all this inflammation. So during so the final thing he said to me, I said, well, can we do cadaver cartilage, where we can put a cadaver cartilage in there, or can we do stem cell to grow my cartilage? And he says, no, we're not advanced there. The best we can do for you, Victoria, is that when you finally can't, you can walk a little bit, but you're going to have to do pain medication constantly. But he says, the best we can do for you, come back in the future and we'll do a whole knee replacement. I says, wow, okay, that's, I mean, just because of some spongy tissue cartilage, you have to, and the rest of my knee is perfect, so you have to destroy the whole knee and replace it. And he says, well, that's where we're at with medical. So then I met you shortly thereafter of going through this for about 3 months of excruciating pain. And within 20 minutes of this visualization and this healing that you did, at the end of it, you asked me to get up and ask me what I felt. Well, what I did not feel was that constant pain that was there, and the size of the knee in the back and below it that was blown up, inflamed, the size of a grapefruit, as I mentioned. It was gone. My knee felt strong and normal. And I start walking around, and then you asked me to give gratitude of that, that the knee had gone through that. And so let's use that. So people are listening to that are going to say, as their mouths are dropping open now, and they're saying, what is she talking about?
Sure.
So
and I've done this a dozen times.
Right. So let's break that down, what you are actually doing there.
Here's the concept. Here's the difference between me and that doctor. That doctor's working in lower 3 dimensions, physical analysis of the knee. I'm not a doctor. Never was, never have been. I'm not even a medical or certified health expert of any kind. What I know is the knee has a spirit, and the spirit of your knee has the ability to repair your knee. And in your case, the spirit of the knee had left. For whatever reason, the spirit of the knee had left. I had a 22-year-old football player from the University of Florida, same thing, impact, boom, spirit of his knee had left. He had 4 knee operations, he was going for a 5th. Same thing. We restored the spirit of your knee, sent it love, right? Higher dimensional love, while your mind and body are in a still higher dimensional, higher vibrational state. And what that means is we just get very peaceful. You call it visualization. I would not use that word, but that could be partially correct. But the reality is we raise the vibration, we restored the spirit of the knee, we created a hologram of the perfect knee. And I said to you, see and feel your knee already healed. And in your heart, thank the universe for healing it, right? Because you create the hologram, and then with the gratitude of thanking the universe, it draws the energy right into that hologram, just like batter into a cupcake mold, right? So then you get cupcakes, right? So you create the mold, the vision, the feeling, the hologram. And we all are holograms, we know that, right? You create this hologram of a completely healed knee, and you thank the universe for healing it in a high vibrational state. That's the key. Cannot do that at 3D, cannot do that while eating chips and watching TV, but in a high vibrational state, that can be done. Now, what we also did is remove the blocking factors. We removed any evil there, we removed any negative emotions, any sadness, any trapped emotions that you may have had in your knee, and remove those blockages, restore the spirit, energize the spirit with love, infinite love from the higher dimensions of the universe. And the spirit of the knee then can repair the knee. So the spirit of your knee really repaired your knee, and we enabled that.
So the question that begs to be answered and asked is, the cartilage, is it still 80% gone, and why is the pain not there? And the cartilage, is the cartilage going to repair itself, or is the cartilage still deficient like it was?
I can't, you're asking me 3-dimensional medical questions, and I'm not a medical doctor.
Okay.
I certainly don't have x-ray machines, and the reality is I'm not sure I really care to, because when your knee feels well, okay, spirit of your knee has the ability to repair your knee. I understand your mind wants to know those answers, but the reality is when you were 5 years old and you fell off your bicycle and you scraped your knee or you hurt, you repaired right away. Your spirits are alive and intact. And at some point, they go, okay, if they go for whatever reason. Usually it's trauma or impact, but it could be an evil attack. I had an evil attack and my knee blew up, okay? And it was literally a psychic attack from higher dimensions. So anything is possible. So I can't answer those 3-dimensional medical questions for you. I'm not a medical doctor, but I don't need to be to heal your knee, and your knee healed. So you send love to your knee reports to the spirit of your body, which sometimes we call our soul. You're fine. You know that. And this happened, 2-3 weeks ago, right? So your knee has been fine for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's not, just an overnight sensation that goes away.
Well, it's been a month and a half now since we did
Month and a half.
A month and a half.
Right, okay.
But if I went and had an x-ray and we still seen the cartilage is still 80% gone, then that doesn't matter, that it's healed. Or perhaps it's healing on its own over a period of time.
Either way, I can't comment. I would love to know that. Since I work at a distance with all my clients, I don't have a physical therapy salon with x-ray machines and so forth. But I'm trying to think, 12 out of 13 knee cases we've healed. Some took a couple sessions, as opposed to yours, which was 20 minutes. But because you're fairly awake in consciousness and you understand the healing process, you were a relatively easy subject, okay. Right? So you healed right away. You believed, you knew, you wanted, you had desire, right? If someone goes in like this, well, half my job is to get them to, open up and receive, because it's their knee, it's their soul, it's their mind, body, and spirit that they have to connect to the universe. I simply guide that connection, but I don't create it.
My name is Victoria VanAyerst. It was about 1.5 years ago that I met Ed for the first time. I had a one-on-one session with him, and at that time I had incredible pain on my left knee. It was the size of a large grapefruit, and it was completely inflamed and swollen. And I went to the orthopedic surgeon. He said that I had 85% bone and cartilage loss. And so in this session with Ed on the one-to-one, he got me out of my very busy mind and allowed me to bring the energy to the knee. And then after 15 minutes of doing this, an incredible, easy visualization, he asked me to stand up and tell me what was going on. Immediately I saw that my knee was completely normal in size and there was no pain. Henceforth, this is a 1.5 years later, and my knee has been completely perfect. Recently I've had classes with Ed, online webinar classes, and in these classes I've learned how to take responsibility 100% for myself, and also I have a lot of mental clarity. And before, there was a lot of negative thoughts that would come into my thinking on a daily basis. No, I can't do that, or no, that's not going to happen, or this obstacle is going to be in the way. But all these things are falling away now in all of my business dealings and all of my negotiations. I'm thinking very positive, and everything is just happening very effortlessly. I know that everybody and anybody would benefit from meeting and working with Ed. So do yourself an incredible favor and live your life at the fullest potential. We all deserve to be healthy, happy, and to live the fullest in body, mind, and spirit.
How could a knee be healed over a short call from across the ocean, when orthopedic specialists said it was all but hopeless? What kind of person is Ed Strachar, and what is he doing to effect such a miraculous change? How could this even be possible? While many may think this is a hoax, the reality is he has hundreds of similar stories with a variety of ailments. Did he somehow fake them all? Or is this man someone very special?